Hello, everyone. This is Coach Andy Goldberg. I'm excited to have Stuart Fraser on the Founders Chair podcast today. Stuart is from Cladach Beach House in Cladach. Welcome to the show, Stuart.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Why don't we just start a little bit? Tell us about a little bit about your personal story, Stuart. Like, where are you from, and where do you live, and what do you
Okay.
do for fun?
Well, this is a story that's got a few twists and turns. So let's see. Start off with I am born and bred in Glasgow, and went to school in Glasgow, grew up in the south side of Glasgow, went to university, and then I joined a couple of corporate firms, one of which took me off to New York, which was really exciting. And that's where I met my wife, and we both were at a point in our careers where we'd been doing the corporate thing for a number of years, and we were both kind of itching to start our own business, not really knowing what exactly we were going to do. But we were living in a part of Brooklyn in New York where there was a lack of hair salons. And at the time, my wife was working for L'Oreal and had all these amazing hair contacts. And I was working in a kind of HR environment, but I was really wanting to get my hands dirty with something new. And so we said, let's leave our jobs and open a hair salon. What a great idea that would be. And actually it worked out really well. We started this kind of funky little salon in Brooklyn, and we were really happy there for a few years. We had kids, and we felt at that point it's time to maybe have a little bit more of a chilled time and get out of the city, do something else. And so we ended up on Arran, which was kind of my sort of childhood weekend place. You know, we used to go
Mm.
camping and caravanning, and like so many people that end up on Arran, it's following a kind of childhood time, you know, like family time. And we ended up in Arran 10 years ago. We looked at a number of businesses to open, and we were open-minded. We looked at opening a bakery or taking over a bakery. We looked at bars and shops, and we found this lovely little place in Whiting Bay called the Bay Kitchen and Stores. And we went in to talk to the owner. And about 4 hours later, we more or less shook hands and started writing a business plan. So it's all very impetuous and impulsive, but we ended up running that shop, and from there, I went off to set up the gin company.
So you didn't really have a plan. You more just had a dream of shedding the corporate life and
Yeah,
doing your own thing and doing something fun and interesting that's yours.
exactly. I'd love to say that we were really strategic and we had good plans, and but honestly, it was more of a feeling and a real kind of conviction that like we knew what we wanted to do, and let's go after it.
Sure.
And you know, it worked out.
So is your wife American?
She's not, but she's moved around even more than me. So she is from the north of England originally, went to London, spent some time in France, and then ended up in New York.
And you just
Um,
happened to meet in New York and
we
work here
met
and then
through
came
a
back here.
mutual friend in New York, and again, like our personal story is a little bit like our business story, impetuous, you know, just kind of go for it. We met at a party, and we really hit it off, and we then spent the next year traveling back and forward between Glasgow and New York. It was an incredibly expensive uh, way to date somebody. But
Yeah.
you know, we knew we had something, and and then I finally managed to get my like kind of permanent transfer to New York, and so we kind of
Yeah.
pulled it off.
And then the move to the island from, I was going to say mainland. I don't, the UK isn't really a mainland, but
Yeah,
I feel like most people probably move the other way. They come from an island to the mainland for more opportunities, but you've gone,
yeah, yeah. We did it the other way. I mean, I guess we were on an island as well in New York, and we moved to another island. We like islands, but we yeah. So a lot of people do that are born and brought up in Ireland will move to the mainland, and you know it's sometimes difficult for young people to get the jobs they want and to get on the housing ladder. So yeah, we did it kind of in reverse. But a lot of people actually of our age, certainly we moved here in our early 40s, and it's just such a great place to bring up a family.
Sure. Oh yeah.
So a lot of the 30s and 40s who have had some sort of connection with Aaron have found themselves back here, which is really nice.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your business now and how that came about.
Okay. So we were talking about the shop. We when we opened the shop in Whiting Bay, we wanted to stock some more fashionable and cool hip products. So we started getting into the craft gin craze, and we were selling a lot of gins from other islands and other kind of rural parts of Scotland. And we thought, well, hold on a minute, there's not a gin on Arran. Why don't we try and start one? How do you do that? Don't know. Let's have a go at it anyway. So we pulled in some uh foragers and botanists and distillers and friends and contacts, and we managed to get the Arran Gin Company launched in 2018. And from there, we bought the premises that I'm sitting in at the moment, which is Cladach Beach House, and that's really been the home of the gin company. But from the basic gin that we started with, we've since been brewing our own beer. We started to make a creme de cassis blackcurrant liqueur using local blackcurrants. So everything's local here. Everything's like hand foraged.
Okay.
Um, and really we've kind of grown and sort of morphed into this sort of destination location by the beach here, where we make drinks, but we do cocktails, we do events, we do all sorts of things. But it really all started with the gin.
So you're right there on the beach. You showed me some views earlier. I
Yeah,
mean, like, I mean, I have a view of Paisley, which is nice,
that's nice.
out of my window. But
Yeah.
really, like, you've got a dream location. I mean, you
We're
must.
very yeah, we're very lucky. We the story really, Andy, is we saw the place up for sale, and again, in that spirit of just go for it, we knew we had to have this location, even if we didn't have all the licenses in place yet, and we didn't have the building wasn't quite what we wanted it to be, but the view and the beach, the layout, it's everything that we would ever have wanted. So
Sure.
we got that first, and then we tried to somehow, form a bar and form a production area around that. But the heart and soul of our business is the view and just the kind of tranquility and the location that we've got here.
You must love coming to work every day.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've worked in worse offices, I'll tell you,
Yeah, of course. Well, okay. So back to the business then. I mean, tell me about, like, on your journey. Quite impetuous, not really much of a plan. You just kind of knew you wanted something more out of life.
Mhm.
Was there anybody that sort of inspired you or pushed you along that had an impact on you that helped you along your way?
Well, there's a number of people that have arrived on Arran in the last 10 years to set up small independent businesses. And I wouldn't say there's any one person in particular, although I've always been a bit of a Richard Branson fan. And I had an opportunity to have a drink with Richard Branson at our university when he was receiving an honorary doctorate. And, I mean, back then I'm in my early 20s, and I'm sitting having a beer with Richard Branson, and just like hearing his story and reading his books was so inspirational. And he very much embodied that kind of screw it, let's do it. That was one of his books,
Hmm.
So his advice to us as students was very much, if you've got a gut feel, follow it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, so I suppose that's like the kind of real inspirational person. Um, but I think it's really easy to take inspiration from the small business owners and the little independents around you that are working really hard every day. And there's a group of us on Arran that kind of help each other. And we are, something of a collective. We share the same customers. We talk up each other's business. Um, and that's not just Arran, it's Ayrshire, as a whole, because we are part of Ayrshire.
Yeah.
And I just want to make connections with like-minded people and say, hey, what's going on in your business? Who are your customers? Can we share ideas? And that's as much inspiration as anything else.
And share customers, share the marketplace
Sure.
for
Yeah.
business. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Something I'm always trying to get my clients to explore more often, because it doesn't need to be on a remote in a remote location, like right in
Yeah.
town, in Paisley and Glasgow. Businesses need to be connecting with
Yeah.
other businesses that, maybe don't compete, but share the same target market. Like, what is there
Yeah.
a better marketing strategy than that?
I absolutely agree because I think all the social media in the world and all the advertising will never match up to other businesses saying to customers, you must go there. You've enjoyed our thing, go down the road and go and talk to Stuart and have a drink there, or go and get a bite to eat across the road, do this, do that. Like just let's all work together and push those customers around each other's businesses.
So what's been your biggest learning as a business owner?
Hmm, that's a difficult one. I think honestly, the biggest learning for me is you've got to communicate with the people around you, your customers, your staff, because you just don't know it all. And you can have these fantastic gut feelings and all that, the romance of, you know, the impetuous behavior and all the rest of it. But really, behind all of that, you've got to, I think, have a kind of sober moment of just talking to your staff, talking to your customers, and saying, "What is it you want? Why do you want to work here? When you come to work, what kind of place do you want to work in?" And
So
then try and do that for them. Because if you can keep those people happy, particularly the staff, and I think hospitality staff have had a really rough time of it over the past few years
mm,
from COVID and just the cost of living. It's not often a well-paid job. And I think you've got to take care of people and ask them, look, what kind of place do you want this to be? I want to hear your ideas. You've got to work here too, so let's do it together. And then the customers, what do you guys want from me? When you come here, what would you like? We've got the view, but what else can we do for you? And then give them what they want and they'll pay you money. I think that's a simple thing, but like give people what they want, they'll pay for it, and we'll all be happy.
love it. What would you say has been your biggest challenge during the years, and how did you get through it? And did you have any help to get you through it?
Probably the biggest challenge for us was trying to get opened and have all the licensing in place and everything just at the height of COVID. I don't think there's any preparation for that. Um, and I think what got us through it was um, working with North Ayrshire Council. I think the people there were really insightful and creative with us when we said we're going to have to rush this through. We have to be open. We have to be ready to open as soon as this thing passes. They helped us as much as they could to expedite that and to get our business up and running. And I wasn't expecting that kind of help. And then we've got just the community. Everybody knew how hard it was for business owners during COVID. So the minute we got a chance to open our doors, the people came flooding in and they supported us and they really kept us alive in those early days. It was touch and go.
Mm.
And we might not be having this conversation were it not for the goodwill of other local businesses and the community, the people of Iron. So we're very grateful for that.
And the council as well.
And the council,
Yeah.
they were great. And councils take so much flack. They come in for a lot of stick because, maybe red tape and um, they don't move at the speed that you're looking for them to move in. But, the guys at North Ayrshire Council really helped us get going. And, we'll always be grateful for that.
So what's the next big thing for you in your business, Stuart? What about the next 1 to 3 years? Is it growth? What's your new next opportunity? And I know
Mm.
I'm asking somebody who tends to operate impetuously.
Yeah, who knows?
Uh,
But no, I mean, not everything we do is completely impetuous, and we
sure.
certainly have some we have some plans. Certainly for this year, I think what we want to do is create much more of a kind of experience. Um, we want people to feel really good coming here and have a variety of experiences. So we're going to do a few more performances. We're going to bring some music in. We're going to bring some theatre in. We've done a little bit of that already. Um, we're going to be part of the Arran International Music Festival, and so some fantastic classical musicians are going to come here and do little pop-ups. Um, Interesting food pop-ups. That's always part of the plan. So I guess what I'm saying is we are going to be like a base for all sorts of interesting things. You'll always be able to get the cafe experience, the bar experience, cocktail
Mm.
classes, and all the rest of it. We'll be brewing and distilling and doing things, but a bit of entertainment and just giving people something to enjoy because everyone needs a break. Everybody needs to be cheered up. So that's the plan. It's not so much growth. I don't know that we want to grow in a traditional sense. I think we want to just be like accessible and diverse and just be open to new experiences and give people some fun stuff to do at the
Yeah.
beach.
Giving people what they want and getting them to pay for it.
Yeah, like we're on a beach. People want to come and lie on that beach and not maybe be eaten by midges in the summer, but let's not talk about that. But they want to come and have a nice time. They'll have a cocktail, they'll listen to some nice music and meet with their friends and family and bring the kids and it's just like let's just have a nice time.
What advice do you have for business owners who are considering, or potential business owners, people that are considering going out on their own, or business owners that have maybe just started out? What advice would you give?
I would say first of all, be careful right now because it's tricky times. So you need to have more than a dream and a gut feel, but you got to have a dream and a gut feel to start with. But you need some really good people around you, and I think one of the things I would say that is paramount importance. If you don't know something, go and find someone that does. Don't guess at it. Just ask friends, family,
Hmm.
local business contacts. You'll find experts in all sorts of areas, um, and get some good people around you, and then trust yourself. If you believe you can do it, back yourself and give it a go. But don't spend too much money. Start small. Don't borrow too much money from the bank. Get something small and fun, and if people like that, you can grow it incrementally.
Yeah, manage your financials for sure.
It's not a good time to borrow lots of money. There's lots of people that will lend you money. Um, and look, that's just not for me. We never over leveraged ourselves. We had to do some, we had to borrow some money and we had to start very small. But I think that's key to it. Like have something really fantastic that's tiny and then grow it and grow it and grow it. You can't buy your way out of a problem. So, just create something and then nurture it. That's what we did.
Yeah. So, okay, so big shout out to Richard Branson for, his influence, and anybody else that helped you on your journey that you just want to give a shout out to before we wrap up?
Well, I mean, I'd like to thank everybody at the council, all the people that are, like I said, that really helped us. I would say a big thank you to Visit Arran, and that's our kind of local,
Hmm.
tourism marketing group, and we're all members. We're all trying to help each other, and that's a great group. Um, and yeah, like Arran is its own. Obviously, it's an island. It's its own little community, and we're very lucky that the people of Arran and my sort of peer business owners are all on the same page. So thank you to all of them.
Fantastic. And look, Stuart, thank you for being on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. We've been
Thank
speaking
you.
to Stuart Fraser of the Cladach Beach House in Broderick on Arran.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks very much for being on the show, and thanks everybody for watching. And keep an eye out on the YouTube channel because we've got plenty more shows that are going to be posted over the coming weeks, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.